Hi, welcome to Queens Talking Reality. I'm Farron, this is
Elisa.
Please like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Today we'll be recapping, talking the tea, the gossip, the drama, everything about Housewives of Potomac. We're about to go live.
Watch us now. Hey, welcome. Come on in. And the lurkers too. We are back with another episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. Recap episode 13, season 7. Let's hit it. Unpack.
Get into it.
Yes. So it starts out with Gizelle and Robin on the telephone. Gizelle is driving. Robin's on the phone. They get into talking about Gizelle's fibroids. What did you think?
At first I was like, but I like the fact that Gizelle made a comment that a lot of single mothers don't think about, or maybe they do, until it happens that, oh my God, I'm sick. Who's going to take care of my kids? I'm their primary person. I don't have that much help. So I could see her voice kind of like cracking up about that. And that is the reality of a lot of single mothers that don't have backup, who doesn't have their dad, the fathers in their lives, or don't have siblings or aunties and everybody else take care of the kids. Once you get sick, that's it. Who's going to take care of you? And if you have kids that's too young, that can't take care of you, that is a big issue. The one thing I didn't really like is that they didn't go into more details. It's like,
I was about to say that.
Are they going to talk about her getting rid of the fibroids? Because if you're going to bring any medical issues on reality TV, especially for Black women, educate us on it. And it was more so, she mentioned it. It seemed sort of kind of serious, but not too serious because it wasn't mentioned until this episode. So it was one of those things. I hope it goes into a little bit more detail to kind of educate women about fibroids.
Exactly. And that's what I was about to say. That was exactly my thoughts. Like, Gizelle said that she was suffering with these fibroids for years now. Yeah. So it's like, if you're suffering it for years, like, is the beef more like important? Like, you trying to drum up beef? Or like there's so many women that you can target with this fibroids, Black women that are suffering. So it's just like, why don't we know that already? Why do we know about Chris trying to holler at you in a hotel room or trying to make the moves on you, but we don't know about your fibroids? And that's important. That's health issues that we can relate to. So Gizelle has to do better with delving deeper into her life and not just having chaos and beefs with these ladies.
That's what I thought, because you said she's had it for years. I'm like, this is season 7? How long you had these fibroids? And not even touch on it, because Cynthia Bailey from Housewives of Atlanta, she had a similar situation about fibroids. And that was addressed on the show, and she talked about a lot off the show. So I don't remember Gizelle doing interviews, and especially her Reasonably Shady. I don't watch Reasonably Shady. Well, I don't listen to it, but I don't think she mentioned anything about fibroids until this episode. But if she did, comment below, because this is the first time Lisa and I are finding out.
And absolutely, she did not, because we're like, at least like we know about Wendy. She's in the hospital room getting rolled away because of her kidney stones and stuff like that. I mean, that's still health issues, but I really think like the editors put that in because Wendy's not as interesting as Gizelle. But I think Gizelle has so many different, which is good when you have so many different like elements, but you shouldn't just show beef with this one person. Let's show like, let's have a balance. Okay.
But it wasn't just about the fibroids. She talked about something else that is a major issue in African-American cult, for African-American women, having a full hysterectomy. That is a major topic. This is another topic which is touched base on Basketball Wives with Brandy. This was a good topic now to educate women, because she said, I've always gone, I had these issues with fibroids, and she needed to have a full hysterectomy to get rid of it. Mind you, Gizelle's of a particular age, so I don't think she's thinking about kids. She don't want any more kids. I don't know if she could possibly have any. But one of her major issues of what happens when you have a hysterectomy, like she mentioned something that most women think about: how's my sex life? How am I gonna be? Is sex gonna be the same? Is it still gonna feel good? So I think that was another major topic. The fibroids is one, but a hysterectomy too. She should touch base on that.
Exactly. And I just think like, we need to have a balance. Like we should know about this. Like you said, it's so many Black women that's suffering from this. And not just that, hysterectomies. It's a twofold thing. Like, come on, do better, editors and Giselle.
Well, then it could be Giselle not wanting to talk about it because it's personal business. So what?
But you on a reality show, your business is our business now. Like we watching and we don't want to just see beefs. Like, why do we got to see Black women fighting? Like, listen, it's entertaining. It's great. Like, we all fight. Like as women, we do have beefs, but we do have health issues. We have other things that go on in our life that we can relate to beside the beefs. So come on.
She could have been a spokesperson to talk about fibroids, hysterectomy. You have a podcast. You do live shows. This is a time to educate. But no, she's willing to go to beef with Candace. I guess that's better for her.
Yeah, and she think it's better for us, but we get tired of it, especially when I feel that it's like manufactured beef. Like I don't want fake beef. Like I don't want you like trying to create scenes and it's just like, I like Giselle, I like her overall, but I feel like this season a lot of things are dragging. Like where you can like, I like the whole Chris thing. I think that Candace dragged that a lot, but Candace is like the lead in the show. So she can kind of segue it onto something else like her hysterectomy, like her fibroids. Like, let's segue this. Let's see you at your doctor's office. Let's see what you suffering with at home. Does your daughters like, are they, because it's hereditary fibroids. Like it can be passed down. Like, are you worried about your daughters? Is everything okay with them? Like, we need to know. Like women have daughters. They all want to know too. So it's just like, I just think there's so many elements to this that she can tackle.
And she dropped the ball of that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't know. Let's wait for other episodes. Let's see.
I think they probably will next season. I doubt it. It's almost the end of the season. I doubt that if anything is going to come out of this is based on the trailer, the mid-season trailer. So I don't think so. I think now that we've talked about it, she probably got a lot of hits on it, comments like, girl, I'm suffering too. So she probably come up with it later after hearing our commentary.
Yeah, or
she might be taking a
the next season storyline, like giving us a little tea this season, and next season is all about the fibroids and hysterectomy.
Exactly. And then they get on the topic of talking about Charrisse not being invited to Robin's show, and they start talking about that.
What's her name? Karen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. They're beefing. Why should Karen invite her?
Yeah, that was stupid. It's like, go on to something else. Like, are y'all just trying to have a conversation struggling to have a conversation?
Mm-hmm. I agree with Karen. I don't like you. I'm not inviting you. Move on.
I'm not either. And don't even question me about it. You know what time it is. You know why I didn't invite her. So then they go on to Robin and Juan, and they telling the kids like they're getting married. They got to get fitted for their tux. And they don't seem excited to me. The kids are like kids.
I just found it very weird that this wedding's been such a topic of Robin. I mean, this storyline's been with Robin since Robin's been on this damn show.
Mm-hmm.
This is the moment for you to capitalize on a moment. So I don't understand why she's making it so private, and it's very disturbing to me that you're not even inviting your mother. They're supposed to be so close. So either your mother's not agreeing with it. Why is it such a big secret? Is it like not really a wedding happening and now you're so embarrassed that you don't want social media and everyone else to know the truth? They didn't seem excited, but it looks like it may be happening because there was somebody tailoring their clothes. They were picking out colors. Or is it just a big lie for the scene, but they never really get married? To me, I was just like,
and she doesn't really explain it. Like, you're not inviting your parents. You're not inviting like your best friend. Like, who's going to be the witness? Like, who? Why is Juan not invited?
He's not 18 yet.
No, those sons can't. No, you need a of age witness. So who's going to be? And why is no one talking about it? Like that could be a storyline. If I was the friend, like with Cynthia not being invited to Kenya's wedding when she married Mark, it's Giselle hurt? Like, why am I not being invited as your best friend, as your co-host, your best friend? Like, that to me is weird. And the other women aren't even like delving into it. Karen has a little like shade, but Giselle, like, you're not approaching her and being like, girl, like, why are you keeping this a secret? I would be, and I don't know, maybe Robin is like, that's a touchy subject for her, but we need to see a little bit more personality out of Robin, not just about her and Juan just being like, you know, just there as a, you know, a body. Like, we need some more storyline from Robin to kind of like, you know, just like settle in with, like, if we want her to stay, even though she's been there since the beginning. But to me, it's like a common thing that everyone knows, like, Robin seems to be riding Giselle's coattails. We still kind of like teetering with Robin. Like, we don't know if we really like her. Is she worth staying? Is she worth being a housewife? Could she just be a friend? Should she just be a friend?
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's like she has so many opportunities to kind of delve in deeper with us, and she's not seizing the moments.
And if you want to have more airtime, more story, she could have even made it where her mother knows, she didn't tell her mother, there's drama between that. Or even if you didn't want it to be that secluded, have the cameras there even, and then show that, whatever. But you're talking about a wedding, you're planning for a wedding, no one's going to see it, no one's going to be there, none of the housewives are going to be there and be like, oh, it was a beautiful ceremony. Why even shoot that scene? So again, I think she's just toying with us with that. So I was annoyed watching the whole damn scene.
Yeah, and the ladies need to like make an issue out of it. Man, if that was me on that show, I'm gonna get my money. Like, you come into work, get these storylines going, pump some air into this. And had I been a housewife, I would have been like having to sit down, like, girl, why am I not invited to your wedding? What are you doing? Like, what is going on? And nothing is being said about this. Everyone's ignoring it, but the little shade that Karen's throwing. But okay. And the next scene is Mia and her husband, and they talking about the business. And like, I mean, she looked like she a boss bitch in that scene. Like, she just like, how's this? How's that? What's this or what's that? Like, I don't know if that was for the cameras, but she did seem like the HBIC.
I mean, I think she's a boss. I don't take that away from her. It seems like she is running the business. From what she says and her husband said, is a successful business. I think they're all bosses in their own right. I never took that away from Mia. It's just her way she presents herself as a boss. Like, I'm a boss. Like, there's all of them, and they have their own, you know, in a way they're their own bosses. At that moment, seeing her was kind of like, okay, she seems like she knows what she's doing. There's being a boss and also knowing what the hell you're doing. So I kind of like seeing that part, and then they kind of touch base about her relationship with her friend, the representative, which I forget her name, Jacqueline, I think it is. And she touched base about how she feels used to some extent in regards to her friend. And when she said that, it really touched base with me, because I had a friends which were no longer friends, which kind of used that, did the same thing to me, like, oh, your kids are there, drop her kids. And I understand from what it looks like with me, is she has a lot going on. She has 2 kids of young age. She has a husband. She has his business. And now you have a friend who's trying to drop her own kids to you, because maybe, you know, I think the sister's the nanny, or it's kind of like, oh, your kid is hanging at the playground, I'll throw my kids there. So I kind of definitely understood where it could be very upsetting and after a while annoying when you have a friend that has their own kid, which should be their responsibility, and kind of throw it on you. So
I guess we're gonna get to that part yet, because I don't think it was in that scene, right?
I think that's what she was telling her husband.
Oh, she was? Okay.
Yeah, she was telling her husband at that point about how her friend, how Jacqueline, you remember how Jacqueline her kid was missing, and how she feels Jacqueline brings how Jacqueline a lot of times have her bring her kid around her kids when her kids are somewhere like at the playground. So that's what she was
okay. I didn't know she delved into it in that scene. I thought it came up during the plane ride. I must have.
No, later on. This is Mia talking to her husband later on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't realize that she actually touched on it with the husband and how that bothered her. I thought she just mainly just let loose on the Jacqueline right there.
Because remember, her husband came into the room to talk about the whole situation of Jacqueline. So yes, she did mention that to Gordon.
Okay. Yeah, so that was I mean, like, that's good that she did touch on it with Gordon. I would have liked better if I was Jacqueline. Like, that's fine. Like, even when I get annoyed with friends or whoever, my boyfriend, whatever. Like, yeah, I might mention it to my friends, but I will have communication. If me and you have a problem as my friend, I'm gonna talk to you about it, not just talk to my husband about it. And I'm not gonna scream on you about it. That's the part I didn't agree with, but we're gonna get to that part. I didn't like the way Mia went about it because I don't think that's how. That's a lack of communication and a breakdown of communication. But they what oh yeah, she did. I do have that part where the ladies are in Mexico at this point. Giselle talks about the plane ride, with the beef that exploded on the plane.
Which I said that was good. And how we missed it. Where was their cameras? Like, you see them on the plane, they don't have their own personal cameras. Sometimes the crew's on camera. How do they have a big argument on the plane and no one caught that moment?
And why do we not see nothing they're not on a plane? Like, where was the cameraman? Like, yeah, they dropped the ball on that one. Like, why? Like, I just feel like certain scenes, like, they not catching, or they don't have like the little, how they have them, not dummy cameras, but the little ones you screw in and then
but
does its own thing.
They have their own personal cameras. Like, the ladies, when they're on the plane, they have their own personal video, like their own phones, and they're like videotape. Oh, we're about to go.
That's up to them to do, but I do think that producers do put their own equipment wherever they're at. If it's in the car, wherever, I think a lot of it is their own equipment that is sitting. They probably prop it up in the corner somewhere in the ceiling.
Whatever it is, I'm like, this sounds like good tea, and we missed it. Like, I wanted to see it. I wanted to hear.
Yeah, we got to hear Giselle recapping it like us, like how we recapping. We doing a recap of a recap.
And Giselle's recap is probably exaggerated. Like, I don't trust Giselle's recap.
Yeah.
After what she did with the whole Ashley and Candace, I don't trust Giselle's recap. I needed a recap from somebody else. A credible source. So when Giselle would say what happened, I was like, I need somebody else to kind of... I trust Robin's recap more than Giselle's.
Mm-hmm. Remember she said that somebody was feeling up on Chris was feeling up on somebody at the bar.
Yes, touching somebody's behind, which they never said that. Ashley never said that, and she went and told Robin in the Sprinter that's what happened. So I don't trust Giselle. So even when she was on the recap, I was like, I want to hear from somebody else. So of course the ladies were talking to Mia. Mia was on part, talking about her friend sitting there looking all sad, like she lost her puppy. So it was just, I was wondering why the hell they invited her. I guess Mia invited her on the trip.
Who?
The friend Jacqueline. She was going.
No, they should have invited her. I like Jacqueline. I like what she's giving.
I like it too, but I was wondering if Mia felt that way. I don't know if Mia's kind of feel like Jackie's taking a little bit of the spotlight, because it seems like Candace is now a score of Jacqueline, and it seems like the women are welcoming to her. They don't seem not so to like her.
And we don't know what the producers are doing behind the scenes. Like, they might be like, listen, girl, we want you to go on the trip too. Like, I think there's certain things that the producers do. They're not saying like we're interviewing you, but they probably just kind of throwing them out there, seeing how well they'll swim or if they're going to sink. And Jacqueline seems to be swimming, and the producers are probably like giving her a little bit more, like, okay, we're going to invite you on the trip now. Come on. And then, imagine like she probably calling up Mia. Yeah, the producers called me. They said they want me to go on a trip. I'm coming with you ladies. And then, it probably stems from that. And there probably is a little bit of like jealousy in there mixed in.
I would be if I was Mia. But again, Mia had to bring her on the show. I don't think how did the producer know about Jacqueline? Mia probably, I have my friend, can we try her out? Mia was trying to give her a little shine. But I think it realized, like, wait a minute, this is getting a little bit too far now. Because the producers didn't know Jacqueline from anything, unless Jacqueline tried to apply to be on the show.
No, I think it is like what we're saying. I think a lot of times it was probably like, you're going to come on. She probably didn't anticipate like that she might outshine her, or they might keep her. Like, there's a lot of friends like with the Elmo friend, the Sesame Street chick, and other people that they bring in on. There's such a revolving door. You don't really think like, you like, okay, I'm gonna give you a little shine, but you don't think it's going to be permanent. Like, she's coming on as a little lap. She came on, I think, as like Mia's lap dog. Like with a lot of them.
Get this little $1,000 check, and then you'll be about your business. See, I gave you some money, like that kind of thing. Like, all right,
yeah, okay, yeah, and you're gonna be my little lap dog on a leash, but don't you stray. And she's straying. Okay.
Done straight. The girl's in a whole different state.
Okay, definitely is. So yeah, you could see like there's some tension going on between them when they're landing. It doesn't come to a head at the airport, but you could tell there's the beef is brewing.
Yes, it
Okay.
was. And we missed
Mm-hmm.
seeing it on what happened on the plane.
Yeah. So now Karen is preparing the veil to give to Robin as a like I guess this is a like ladies slash bridal party trip.
Oh, whatever. They had little gift bags for everybody, which was cute.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, each of them represented what the ladies stood for, I guess, at that moment. I don't know. It was cute.
Mm-hmm. And then this is the next scene is like when they all come together, they all sitting around, and then that's when Mia and Jacqueline kind of like talk it out. And I guess they trying to
talking. They were yelling it out.
Well, it started with I think they were trying to like mediate the situation. I think that's what the ladies were trying to do. And then it's kind of like, you know, Jacqueline kind of like threw it out there like, yeah, Mia just needs some dick in her life. Like, you know, like probably you say it, like to me, that's a fly by night comment that I wouldn't get offended by. But it seemed like Mia took like real offense to it. And I don't know if she really did take offense to it. I kind of think like that was a moment for Mia, like to kind of like make a moment on the show at the expense of her friend.
Well, first of all, her friend told about Mia didn't need some dick in life. She's a married woman, so probably she's getting dick. Maybe not, but that was stupid for her to say that. I think Mia was upset based on what Jacqueline said on the plane about it takes a village to raise raise a kid. You wouldn't know nothing about that.
So yeah, I think that is what hit the nerve too.
That's
yeah.
what Mia's been upset about since the plane ride. They didn't show when Jacqueline said it, but Mia in the confessional repeated that. And at first, I thought it was a dig to Mia as a parent, but it wasn't. When Mia went into the confession, explained it, she was referring to the fact that Mia didn't have a village raising her. Because remember, Mia was in foster care. Her mother was a drug addict. So she didn't have a village to raise her. Jacqueline, we don't know her background. Apparently, she probably had that support that Mia didn't. So that, I think, was a extremely low blow. That's my friend. And again, she knew, remember, Jacqueline and Mia knew each other from childhood. She knew Mia's story. Mm-hmm. Jacqueline's mom or family took Mia into her house. This is what Mia's saying. So for you, for whatever petty argument we having, as a friend, you know my struggles, you know what I went through, for you to throw that in my face, I don't think I would be able to forget somebody say that to me, because now you're judging, you're trying to hurt me, and you're saying something that you know affected me till this day. I think that was terrible of Jacqueline. So I think when Mia lashed out at her, it was because of what she said on the plane. And I agree, I was very upset.
But I think that goes again, like we still didn't see the footage. And that's where that's like the big hole is that I think that's missing, is that we didn't see. Because to me, I want to hear Jacqueline explain what she meant. Because to me, I could take it as you telling me, like, first of all, I would be upset. Like, imagine your kids being around me and then somebody telling me your kids are missing. And then I'd be like, oh, those are Farrah's kids. Like, those are not mine. I would be like, if I were you, I'm sure you would be upset. Like, for me to be like, I don't give a damn. Those aren't my kids. Speak to the mother about her kids.
But they didn't elaborate on the kids missing. Like, it wasn't like they were kidnapped. They would come from school. Like, that whole scene, they didn't elaborate as far as how they were missing. How old are these kids? What do you mean they're missing?
But it doesn't even matter at that point. If you're getting a phone call and someone says, I wouldn't care if they're missing in the house and they're in the attic or upstairs. Like, to me, automatically, if someone calls me and say someone's missing, that's your kids, and okay, they're missing, to me, I don't care what context it's in. And the first thing you say before I could even respond is, oh, those aren't my kids. Like, you better speak to the mother about that. Like, to me, it would be like, wait, hold up. Even if they found and they was like in the room, like, I would be pissed at that response.
No,
like,
but remember what Mia said when they were in Karen's live catastrophe show. She said that it's appeared, what Mia said is that Jacqueline's sister, who is the nanny, called Mia and said Jacqueline's kids is missing. She was like, well, why is she calling me? Why is she calling the mother? That made sense. If your kid is missing, why is anybody calling me, telling me your kid is missing?
I don't, but if I'm right there, no, but if I'm right there and I'm there, like as your friend, that's gonna be your first response. Those are my kids. You better call your mother. Like that would be my first. If somebody called me and you're sitting next to me, and your kids are missing, my first response is not gonna be, why are you calling me? I'll be like, oh my God, Farrah here. Like
that's true. Maybe they're trying to call Jacqueline.
I would be pissed if somebody did that to me as my friend and I'm sitting right there. Who knows? The reception could have been bad. I don't know. But right now the issue is my kids are missing. Not why you're calling me. Why don't you call them? That's like, let's handle that later. Like later on, once we find the kids, then maybe I'll say, listen, why did you call me? Like, why? Like in that moment, my first response would not be, why are you calling me? The kids are missing. And you want to delve into why the hell she calling you? I would be pissed.
I agree with that, because somebody called me, so my friend's kids are missing. Maybe they don't want to tell her because they know she's gonna go into panic. But I get it from me, and I could be wrong, that things like this probably happened with Jacqueline. It seems like when she got the calls, like, oh, again, or something else. You know, you have certain friends, certain situations happen to you, you're never in a panic, and it's never a big deal because, like, oh, really? I heard about these kids missing like 4 times already. Like, okay, like this is not a big deal. It wasn't like I'm not saying she's not a responsible parent, but there are certain people that's happened to me when other people would be the same situation. I'll be like, oh my God. But if it's somebody I know that's careless, or their kids are always wandering around, or I've gotten calls like this in the past, or situations like this happen, it'll be like, okay, why are you calling me? Like this is happens all the time. So I don't know if that was a situation, because it doesn't seem, and again, these are missing scenes from this puzzle, that Jacqueline was in a frenzy about her kids missing. And it was nice to see Jacqueline in the confessional. She looked really nice. That was another thing.
She did. And that goes back to, but I'm only saying that like because I think Jacqueline was right to respond in that moment. Like even if you are annoyed, like, okay, yeah, I'm bringing my kids, maybe my kids are, annoying you that I'm bringing, but that's where, as a friend, communication comes in. And that's how being a good friend is. That's a part of being a good friend, is effective communication. If I'm doing something wrong to you, let's talk about it before you explode and not give a damn about my kids missing. Let's talk about it. Like, so we can handle it, and then you can say, you know what, whatever. But Mia just seems to be like exploding about this. I don't know if she talked to her about it before, but to me, if that had been me and you got annoyed that my kids are still over there and you talk about, why are you calling me? I would probably say some shit like, you don't know what it is to have a village to raise your kids, but I'm the village and I give a damn, and you should too. And that's why I would say, you don't know what it is about raising a kid and having a village. And that, to me, that could have meant maybe Mia got nannies, beside the sister. Maybe the sister takes care of the kids the majority of the time, or some other nannies beside Jacqueline's sister. Maybe Mia has a whole crew taking care of the kids, and she don't have a village, and she don't know about what it takes to like be a part of raising a kid. So to me, I would need to hear it directly from Jacqueline's mouth to know what she meant. But we didn't have privy to that conversation. We only now hearing Mia's side and her defense as about the village and the this and the that. But I need to hear it from Jacqueline. What did she say? How did she mean? What did she mean by it?
Correct, because she could mean how we thought, like, Mia, you got a lot of help. I don't. Or did she try to dig at Mia's past? So the whole argument for me, I not sure whose side I'm on, because we missed the whole argument on the plane. So again, we're getting Mia's side of the story. Jacqueline on the confessional, I don't remember her mentioning anything about what she said to Mia.
Yeah, I don't either. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I watched the argument, but I didn't know whose side. If I was Team Mia, Team Jacqueline, I wasn't sure. I just didn't like what she did say to Mia. But what did Mia say for her to say that to Mia?
That's what I'm saying. To me, I felt like it was about, Say that again.
What did Mia say to Jacqueline, from Jacqueline to be like, well, you don't know what it takes to, it takes a village to raise a kid. You don't know nothing about that. What did Mia say first for Jacqueline to say that? So that's where I don't know.
To me, I took it as the impression I got is that was Jacqueline's response and being upset about Mia kind of like blowing like the whole kids missing thing off. Like it's a joke. Like, oh, like why are they calling me? Like I think it was in response to Jacqueline's kids are missing. Mia's questioning as to why you're calling me, why are you not calling Jacqueline? Why are you bothering me with this nonsense? And her kids are missing. So to me, I took it as that was Mia's response. You don't know about raising kids. You don't know nothing about it. My sister is taking care of your kids. Your other nannies are taking care of your kids. So that's how I took it. And I thought like that's why Jacqueline responded and said the thing about the village, and rightly so. To me, I probably would have said worse.
Yeah, but I think Mia took it a different way, meaning she was digging at her past.
Oh,
Again,
well.
Mia could have taken it that way. Maybe Jacqueline meant the way you said. Either way, Mia would have been offended.
Either way, it was meant. The kids are missing, and you don't give a damn about my kids missing. I don't give a damn which way you took it. I meant it either way. Take it how you want to take it. That's how I would be. Jacqueline,
I need to know more about these damn kids that was missing. Where were they? Were they fine? Or they? How old are these damn kids? Are these badass kids that's always run away? Are they good kids? Like, what is the story about the missing children?
I still would be pissed if, as my friend, and you'd be like, "Why are you calling me about these damn kids?"
I don't know. I need to know more about them kids.
I don't need to know
more about who, what happened, where are they missing, how old are they, where were they, why?
It don't matter. Once you say that you don't give a damn about my kids, that's where the beef is going to segue to. And I don't care if the kids are in the room playing.
True, but I want to know exactly what happened to that missing kid story. But again, they never talked about it.
Yeah. So then, as they arguing, well, before the argument, I noticed how Mia kind of gave Jacqueline kind of like a warning shot and basically told her, simmer down, bitch. Don't get too beside yourself.
She did, and Jacqueline didn't stop. No holds barred. But Mia threw the bomb when she talked about Jacqueline sleep with married men.
Yeah, she
said Nene's like, close your legs to married men. I'm like, oh Lord. You using Nene's lines from Atlanta Housewives.
I know she should have said. That's what I'm saying. Like that's already belongs to Nene. Like you should come up with your own. Like so maybe we could kind of like carry on with that. Like that was kind of weak. And then not only was it weak, you didn't really have anything to substantiate it. Like what did you mean? Is she sleeping with your husband?
So when she said that, Mia, close your legs to married men. Then I'm like, yeah, elaborate, but. To me, when she said it, Jacqueline went off in the beginning. So I'm like, oh.
Yeah, and I didn't like that part.
But wait, so to me, when Jacqueline did that, I thought, oh, because she's mad that she's probably dating a married man and now it's in the open and everybody knows because maybe they've seen her out the man, whatever. But then she thought, I've never slept with your husband. I think she was deflecting. Because Mia didn't say nothing about her husband. It was over-exaggerated on Jacqueline's part, over-dramatized. I don't know what she was doing for the TV. But to me, I think she was deflecting. It had nothing to do with Gordon. It didn't make any sense why she got so highly upset. I would never sleep with your husband. How could you say this? How it's done?
But to me, I know. To me, I didn't take it like that.
Really?
I took it as like when I feel like Mia is just like grasping at anything to have a moment. I really don't think that I just think that I think Mia was trying to be a housewife and try to substantiate her existence in that moment and kind of like just threw anything out there that sticks. And I don't think Jacqueline was prepared for it because to me, I probably would have came back with a moment. But when you talk about married men, to me, like, you're not going to put my reputation at stake. That's like you just looking for a moment. As me and you go on the show and we're friends. And then all of a sudden you start saying like, Elisa, you a little prostitute. And I'm like, what? Where did this come from? Are you trying to say I'm a whore because I'm dating a couple of men here and there? Or are you trying to say I was on like 42nd Street selling my ass? Like, I wouldn't know where you're going with this. Because you just threw it out there, maybe to get me mad so that we could get in a fight and make the moment juicy. And that's what I took it as Mia was trying to do. She was trying to get a juicy moment. And Jacqueline kind of was like, it hit her like a ton of bricks. Like, wait, whoa, marry who? Marry who? Your husband? Your husband's married? I'm dating a married man? I'm not dating a married man. So you got to be talking about your husband.
I didn't see it that way. It's guilty to me. All over. Too much crying, too much, oh, how could you do this? She threw Gordon in there. I said, girl, you see with tons of married men. That first reaction to me said she was guilty and trying to act like she wasn't. It was overly exaggerated.
I don't think so. And look at what Drew Process said. What'd you say?
I think the girl's guilty and she's sleeping with married men.
No, I don't think she's sleeping with married men. I think she took it at like, it just hit her like shit hitting the fan. Like it's just going everywhere. Like, wait, hold up. Like, I think that's the way I took it. Like Mia's trying to like do anything. And that's what Due Process said. She said, first I thought they were trying to create situations to stay on the show. The only thing I disagree with Due Process about that is I didn't think they were trying to create a situation. I think Mia tried to create a situation and Jacqueline wasn't prepared. I would have been prepared. I would have been ready for a bitch to tell me especially you want to talk about I'm dealing with a married man. See, that's the moment that Jacqueline might have failed at being a housewife because you can't be scurrying away crying. Like,
yeah, she failed. And I'm like, look, at this point, a lot of people, they ain't married men. So it was like, girl, calm down. Like she really took it over.
No, I won't be caught. No, we talking about calm down. Somebody accusing you of keep your legs closed to marry men. You talking about you ain't gonna be offended?
Not like that. I would not be offended to that extent. Sorry, no, boo boo. Not maybe if you tell me I don't know. I don't know what would make me go off the hinges like crying and no. But she went, oh, you mean you thought maybe she was so upset because she thought Mia meant her husband.
That's what I'm saying to me.
But Mia didn't say that. Mia didn't say that.
Yeah, but if she's not sleeping with a married man, I would think your husband. If you accuse me and say keep your legs closed to married men, and I'm not married or I'm going through a divorce or whatever Jacqueline's situation is, I would like. What else would I think you're talking about? To me, that's what logically that seemed like to me. Like, wait a minute, I think it just caught her off guard. Like, wait, hold up, she got to be talking about her husband because who else? If she's really not, let's say she's really not dealing with a married man and Mia just threw it out there in that scenario, I would automatically zero in on her husband because it would be like, who else could you possibly be talking about? And now you're trying to kind of throw me out there to the wolves because now you know that's the talk. You know people are kind of speculating saying that I'm sleeping with your husband. So now you're trying to see that. Yeah, you're trying to make believe like I really am sleeping with your husband. That's the way I took it. Like she really trying to make that a storyline, but at my expense, you really trying to make people believe I'm sleeping with your husband because that's the only married man you could be talking about.
Girl, it was too much. I said I had some respect for Jackie, but all that crying was like, girl, please stop. Like go ahead, Mia. There's so many things. Mia has Bigfoot has a low crater face. Bigfoot has a very low self-esteem. Jacqueline had so much she could have told her to break Mia down and have Mia cry. I was like, what the? You know a lot about Mia that we don't know about. So I have to commend Jacqueline because she could have thrown a bombshell at Mia right then and there that we don't know about Mia.
Well, that's why she needs to be fired because she didn't. You ain't on the show to be.
We know certain things about Mia having clit surgery. Your pussy's worn out. That's when you needed to get clit done. Like there's so many things that we don't know about Mia. This is when all bets are off. I'm telling the world about your nasty ass. Because the friendship is over at this point. So I'm letting everything out the bag. So Drew Process said strung together the Porsche, the flashlight, the sex with Mia's former boyfriend. They are doing too much. Exactly. They were trying to make everybody really interested about their friendship. But this part here, Jacqueline dropped the ball because this is the time you were supposed to take Mia down. This was the time. Mia won that argument because she made you cry, stir away. Candace had a console. The girl had snot coming down her nose, tears down her shirt. It was way too much.
Exactly. And she didn't show that she could stand, like she can withstand the heat to be a housewife. Like in that moment, even though you're my friend, in that moment, you show that you're not my friend anymore. So now the gloves are off. Now it's showtime. And now I'm not gonna hold back.
Even if I was sleeping with a married man, and you brought that out, or you tell my secrets. And if I'm not sleeping with that married man, you trying to make the world think I am. I'm all gloves are off. I'm talking about your mama's business, Gordon's business, your business, everybody's business.
Exactly.
I'm telling you everything. And in the confessional, I'm ripping a new one. So, Jacqueline, I think you might not be coming back next season.
You might not be cut out for a housewife. I'm going to give her a chance, though, to see what's going to come from this because they're not going to be friends after this. Hopefully she doesn't scurry. I think that was the beginning of the downfall.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I hope so.
So I'm just hoping.
Who cares about the friendship?
That's what I'm saying. So this is the time Jacqueline needs to stand 10 toes down and go at it. So hopefully I'm gonna give her a chance. She scurried away crying, tears, like you said, snot everywhere. We need to see her gather herself together and bring it. Take the gloves off and let's see what you made of and substantiate what you could be next season. Maybe you could be a housewife. Maybe you're going to get fired and you're not even going to be a friend. But we need to see what Jacqueline can bring and if she can withstand the heat. And so far, she scurried away, but I still want to give her a chance next episode.
I feel she missed the moment. Now you're going to go back at Mia now. Like, this was an opportunity, I think, for her to start something up with Mia now, to go back.
No. You know how some hood, there's a lot of hood bitches that before they start swinging, the tears just start coming, rolling. And they so angry, they start crying before the punches.
Exactly. That was not Jacqueline.
No, we don't know. The tears came. We don't know. That's what I'm saying. The tears are coming. She might gather herself in the punches for next episode. They edited it. You know how the editors do in such a way. We got to wait for it. They stringing us along. So I'm going to wait.
Because it went from that to Karen. I don't remember Jacqueline doing anything after that. So
the editors, I listen, the editors be chopping up and slicing and dicing these things back together again. So we need to see, there might be a segment where Jacqueline is gonna bring it. I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt right now.
Yeah, I so far like her better than Mia, and I don't know much about her.
Because I think Mia is giving us manufactured beef. I don't think she's giving us real beef. So that's the only thing I can say about Mia. Like, she seems to be just throwing anything that sticks out there. And Jacqueline's just not prepared for it.
So Dupas said, you all may have discussed it. What about the video that they said Mia release of Jacqueline? I haven't seen it. I think it's about what? About something. I never heard of Mia revealing. I think I did hear something about some video of Jacqueline. A porn?
Mm-hmm. I don't know, but I gotta look into that. I didn't hear nothing about Mia releasing a video. So if that's the truth that she did, then you really know there's no like friendship at this point at all. Like, even now after the season.
I did hear something about some video about Jacqueline in the beginning of the show, but I didn't give it any thought because I didn't know who Jacqueline was. Due process, what video? What? Let us know more. You just said release a video. What is the video about? Let us know.
Mm-hmm.
So after that scene,
the next scene was Charrisse shows up and Jacqueline just looks like miserable. She's still like gathering herself. That's the only thing. Like I said, it is taking her a while to gather herself. The tears should have came and then she should have just wilded out. But I'm still giving her a little bit of time. She's not hood. She might be, I don't know how she grew up, but she's not, you could tell she didn't come from the streets. So she's not street savvy. So just taking her a while to gather herself. So Charrisse comes on the scene. Everybody just seems like, you know. What do you think of Charrisse? Charrisse, I don't get the whole, like, you know, I think she's trying to make herself to be like a grand dame. Like, I don't get why she's there. Like, I don't think she's bringing it enough for us.
Gotcha. So Kaya, she said Mia's sister has come out and said they had an agreement about watching the kids together because Mia begged Jackie to be on the show with her. Mia begged Jackie to be on the show with her.
I can believe that, kind of like back up. She probably just wanted her, like, because she came on as like a lap dog.
Oh, so Drew Pasta said the video that supposedly Mia released of Jacqueline is about abuse.
Oh,
who's abusing who? I gotta look into that.
Yeah, okay. But that's even worse.
And the other one, and Karen. So of course, Giselle brought it up. Oh, what's going on between the two of you guys? She was the one Giselle. stirring the pot, which I like.
But what do you think about Charrisse?
I think Charrisse trying to act holier than thou, like, oh, I have all this stuff. Oh, you remember she's all to the champagne room and this. I don't know. When I met her, saw in a couple of scenes, she was trying to impress too much.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to humble herself and bring herself down a little bit. Like,
yeah, and then bring us some, like, storyline. Like, I know she's a friend or a friend. She's not actually a housewife just yet. But to me,
she used to be a housewife.
She used to, but huh?
She used to be a housewife. I forgot what season.
She used to be, but what I'm saying is right now, she's not a housewife. She's coming on as a friend of. And to me, it's like, I don't think she's gained her housewife status in this season. I don't think she should be given a housewife status. Because, like for example, with Sheree on Atlanta Housewives, Sheree was fired as a housewife. She came back as like a friend of, and then they made her an official housewife. And I'm thinking that's what they're doing with Charrisse. But to me, I don't think she deserves the title. Like, I didn't see anything from her that I would want her to be a housewife. I don't think she got it. I think Jacqueline is more of a reason, should be more of a housewife than Charrisse.
I agree, but I think if Charrisse continues this beef with Karen, they may bring her back next season. Because I don't know. I don't want her back either, but I don't want her back either. But right now, that is also giving Karen a storyline, the beef. Because right now, there's not really any real beef that's happening between them.
Exactly.
No one. It seems like the Ashley and Giselle situation. Ashley just staying, not Candace is basically staying away from them. It seems like when they're on a group, they kind of like try to avoid each other. Wendy and Mia, it seems like they're not even talking to each other. But Wendy and Robin, they got over their situation. Mm-hmm. So the only real beef right now is Charrisse and Karen, Mia and Jacqueline. So I think depending how long they decide to let this go on, Charrisse may come back next season to keep it going, or they have to throw somebody else in the mix to stir up the pot.
Yeah, I think they should throw. I don't think it's Charrisse. Like she's trying to make a moment out of Karen, like Karen said, begging for her friendship, and like she's trying to pretend like she got some tea on Karen that you haven't spilled yet. So it's kind of like you're kind of dragging us along. Like this was too much drag along, like for me. Like if you got tea on Karen, she should have spilled it already like 5 episodes ago. And then we could have like delved into this tea and like, kind of made a moment of it. But now you're dragging on too much and you're not telling us anything and you're not substantiating your existence. So now it's like your time is up. You need to go.
Yeah, but she has to drag it on to keep being on the show because we all want to know what the tea is. Apparently, it's Karen cheating, but she has to not tell us because once she tells us and that whole scene happens, that'll be the end of that. So she has to keep like, oh, I know something about Karen, but I can't say yet. I know something about Karen.
Yeah, but that's a terrible way to like, I don't know. I think that's like a terrible, like, we're not interested anymore. Like, we don't even give a damn about the beef. Because first of all, Karen is ignoring her. She's not giving Charrisse the time she needs to substantiate her existence to be on the show. Karen is like, treating her like dust. Like, just, like, get out of here. Like a tick. So it's just like, you're not even getting anything out of that storyline. So you need to move on to something else.
There's nothing else. She gets along for all the women.
She better not get along with them. Do something. Do like what Mia's doing.
Like Wendy.
Yeah, exactly. You need to do something with yourself to stay on the show and to get this check, keep rolling.
Correct. So they started talking back and forth. She talked about when her mom passed, or somebody in her family, whether it's her father or somebody passed away, Karen wasn't there. Then she mentioned about coming to Karen's. Karen was saying, oh, well, you wasn't there. My mom passed away. It's only been 3 years. Giselle said, but she went to the funeral. And Charrisse said, I was there for when your mom passed away. Then Karen Law said, stop talking about my mother. Keep your mother. My mother's at your mouth. I'm like, what is going on?
I had to rewind that scene because I'm like, did Charrisse say something about her mother?
I was like, wait, did I miss something? What did Charrisse say about mother? Nothing.
Yeah, I don't know if Karen, like, I guess she was like activated, as they say, but I'm like, is she crazy? Is she hearing voices? Because Charrisse didn't, but she's giving Charrisse what Charrisse needed, a moment. Like Karen shouldn't have did that. Like, because now you're seeming crazy, and then you're giving Charrisse a moment.
Or maybe Karen didn't hear properly. I mean, Karen's kind of older there. Maybe
I don't think she heard her, and I think like Karen has been kind of like flying under the radar this season, kind of just like not giving us enough of her. Like, I don't, she did her little show, but I think beyond that and before that, like, I just don't think Karen was like giving us, like, she was scurrying away from Charrisse, wasn't really talking too much about it. Like, I get it, you don't want to give her a moment, that's fine. But there was other scenes that she could have like kind of gave us a moment with the Mia situation. Mia kind of telling like Karen, like, oh, why are you acting like this? Like, I would have gave it to Mia. I would have told Mia about herself. There's a moment that Karen should have been activated. You don't got to give Charrisse the limelight, but do it somewhere else. So to me, it's like, you're going to use this. You're going to give Charrisse the moment. And then now you're doing it in a moment where you're hearing voices. Like, because Charrisse didn't even say that.
Right moment. I agree. I was like, what the hell? Karen looked crazy. She literally looked like, okay, something not right about Karen right there. She didn't do it at the right time. She didn't do it in the right circumstances. That part with Charrisse was kind of like, and Charrisse was coming at her kind of like, what is the problem? Why don't you like me? Like, where did we go wrong? Like, that Charrisse do want to continue being friends with Karen. So it was like, Karen looked crazy. It didn't make any sense. It's like I felt I missed something that was happening there.
Yeah. And Kai said Mia released the video of Jackie and her children's father having an altercation when she found out he was cheating while she was pregnant and her father just passed. That's sad if Mia did that. That's just low.
So where the hell did Mia get that video?
Maybe she sent it to her, like, girl, you know how you do with your friends? Like, she probably sent it to her. It's probably something old. Like, girl, look what happened. I recorded it. I bust him upside the head or something, or whatever she did. I could do that. Like, if I get
brought her friend on to embarrass her because apparently Jackie worked for the Department of Defense and Mia's acting like she don't have anything. Oh, I think she did bring her a little bit to kind of talk down to her, or hoping to bring somebody to kiss her behind.
I think so. And I think, like I said, like we were saying earlier, like she brought her on as to play a lapdog, and she can't, like, she got to stay in her place as the lapdog. But I think, Jacqueline is straying a little bit from being the dog. Like, she's getting off the leash, and Mia can't have that. She got to reel it back in. The leash, she got to tighten up that leash, and Jacqueline's not allowing it.
Thank you. I'm proud of Jacqueline. So that was the end of that episode of Karen acting like she's crazy. Jumping up there and just screaming at Charrisse. Charrisse gets up and yells at her too. And everybody's sitting there like, what the heck is going on? I mean, they didn't show a recap of next episode. But
she did say, I did like the part where Karen did kind of give a couple of like, let her know, like, you're begging to be my friend. Like, she did make Charrisse look a little stupid, but the part when she blew up at the end, like, don't you talk, I hated that part. But the other part, I felt like Karen should have just like kept it like calm in that moment and not like hearing like weird shit that she didn't say. But I did like the part where Karen did seem like smooth with it. Like, oh, you're begging to be my friend, bitch. Like stop it, and I'm not giving that to you, so keep it moving. But she didn't say that.
She made sure she looked thirsty and dumb, but she ended up looking, they both look crazy because now Charrisse was reacting to Karen. Well, she was not so much. Karen looked the crazy one, but it just made me look like two old people fighting over something that doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you think she said anything about your mother?
And she didn't. Like, and everybody else, you could tell, like, everybody else at the table was like, huh? Like, that's when it starts getting confusing. Like, yeah, it's great that I want to see some beef that doesn't involve me. That's great. But now it's like, wait, what happened? What I missed? Like, what?
Wendy's face was very fun. We should see Wendy's reaction and Candace. They were just like, what the heck is going on? So, I mean, that was it for this episode. So I'm curious to see how they cool Karen off, because Karen, every time she acts crazy, somebody got to drag her into the bathroom. So that was the end of this episode.
And Due Process said Karen Vandervoort show. that Karen's having. I did see that she put up that her show is sold out for February, I think on my birthday, the 7th. And she put up that her show is sold out for that day. But I noticed that every time Karen puts up something about her show, she cuts the comments off where you cannot comment, because it sounds like, she probably got like a 10-seater again that's like a side bar hole in the wall, and you acting like it's sold out, but there was probably only 10 seats in total in the whole place. Like, stop it, girl. Like, you're not selling out Madison Square Garden.
I agree. I saw that on her page too. Well, 10 tickets is better than no tickets. So go on.
True. I exaggerate too in my business, so I can't even front on that. Like, listen, let me give her props, because I do it too. You just have to remind me.
Yeah, so it's better than none. So go, Karen. I mean, it can't be any worse than what we saw online. On
We're
TV,
rooting for you.
So Kai said the video was 4 years old and Mia released it on the day Jackie was having a premiere party. Mia even tagged Broward trying to force them to fire her for DV, domestic violence. So what premiere party? What Karen have Jackie having a premiere party for?
To be on the Potomac.
Really? A premiere party?
If you was on TV, you ain't having. But let me tell you something. Let me be on TV or have a commercial or something on TV. Everybody coming over and we watching it together. Like, what you mean a premiere party? That's a big deal.
Okay, I don't know. I didn't think that was such a big deal to have a premiere party of being.
I have a premiere party for less. Like, for somebody else. You have a premiere party, Ghost. I mean, what's the show with 50 Cent? Power. The new Power's coming on. The new season is starting. Come over, let's have a premiere party.
Exactly. But I don't know. I didn't think her scenes were that big of a deal to even have a premiere party, but people have parties for everything.
Exactly.
Whatever. But now you got embarrassed. Cried. And that premiere party episode when she was crying.
Exactly. I would not have no premiere party if I'm scurrying away crying.
Exactly. So
I'm not coming out of my face.
I wouldn't want people to even watch the show.
Mm-hmm.
Dupra said Charrisse looks crazy. She said she didn't know Karen before the show. She always heard talk of the old drunk black lady. So why would she want?
Yes, she did. I saw that too.
She said, so why would you want her to be a friend? I never heard about her saying that she knew Karen as the.
Yeah, she did. She was on Carlos King and she said that she didn't really know Karen. And she said when the producers assumed, basically Charrisse is saying she got everybody on the show. That's why she's considered the grand dame, because she's the one that gathered up everybody. So when Carlos was asking her, wait, did you know Karen? You was friends with her? And she was like, no, I didn't really know Karen, but I sort of knew her from a distance, but I always knew her as the old drunk lady.
I don't believe that. I don't think Karen was known as the old. Then again, I don't know. Karen does not. I don't know. Well, maybe she did, but they did show pictures of them way before the show started. Or it could have been one of those things. I'm in a group. It was a picture of Giselle, Karen, and Charrisse. But it could have been one of those pictures you're in a club. You're like, oh, come on, girl, let's take a picture. But you don't really know the person.
You really are, exactly. Or you could be like a friend. I've taken pictures before, and I have pictures of people. I'm like, who's that? Who's that? My picture from like years ago.
Friend, and then somebody else jumps in the picture. So whatever the situation is, we have to wait until the next episode to see how this continues or it stops. So Kai said, Jack is an official friend of and had the red dress photo. Oh, she was in the red dress photo? I don't remember seeing her. Well, then again, there's something else. I guess she's more.
We gotta look at that photo again and see if I can see Jackie in that photo. But maybe because they do be including the friends now in these like photo ops and stuff. So and
she's
he's like,
now if we think back, she's been in a lot of episodes. I don't know if she's in every episode.
More than any of the other friends that they've been like, showing. She's kind of sticking.
Yeah, she's sticking, girl. So let's see what happens next season. And let's see what happens in the next episode. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for our next episode to talk about the next our next video talk about the next episode. Please continue to like, subscribe, and watch our YouTube channel. We'll be right back about quick tea to talk about some of the hot topics regarding housewives.
Toodles.